Her approach is really unique because when you talk about boys and men, especially in statistic form, there's a lot of conversations about them. She's one of the few speakers who actually talks to them. So her entry point is really inviting boys to consider the impact of the media that they consume, how it affects their perceptions of themselves and what that should look like. And she really challenges them to define themselves authentically apart from how they're being told to act.
Well, everything she talks about is consistent with what we're trying to teach the boys. We talk about ending gender-based violence. That's a big part of what Alexis Jones talks about in her lectures. We talk to the boys about positive relationships with others and respect for self, and that's a huge part of what Alexis Jones discusses in her encounters with athletes and with celebrities. We talk to the boys a lot about how to be leaders and how to inspire others and how to develop positive expressions of masculinity and healthy masculinity. And that in itself is a big part of what Alexis Jones delivers in her talks. So almost everything she says is concomitant with what we're trying to do with the St. Michael's Man program.
Workshops really look at challenging traditional or antiquated definitions of manhood. They also really leverage leadership. So we look to our senior students to facilitate activities with the younger ones that raise questions about what it means to be a guy. What is consent? What is sexual assault? What does a healthy relationship look like? What am I allowed to express as far as emotions? What does empathy look like? And so those questions and those topics really tie into the way that she presents and explores manhood and what that entails.
Now, what's interesting is that some schools call me because, you know, at the end of the day, they care about what's going on in their locker room.
I think her candor and her charisma on stage really struck a chord. There's also the aspect that it's pretty unique to see a woman hold her own in the locker room the way that she does. So looking at those things made her a natural choice for the work that we're doing. The irony is that Alexis was on the books and actually booked to come and speak as early as October. I think her message was relevant then. I think it's vital now. The way that she discusses these topics, there's an important reminder to be heard in that this is not unique to St. Mike's. So she's very well versed in the issues that afflict teenagers: bullying, self-esteem, mental health, sex, violence, and she talks about those, again, not preaching her knowledge of statistics, but she talks about how these are pandemic problems. So I think that message reinforces that some of the issues that our school is facing are not unique to us, and she's a great resource to kind of explore how we can confront those problems.
I hope the boys will take awareness away from the guest speaker. I hope that they will develop a more expanded lexicon, a more expanded vocabulary around expressions of healthy masculinity, around issues of gender-based violence. I hope that they will be comfortable talking to one another and engaging one another in conversation. So I think what I'm going to look for after the fact is the quality of the conversation we're having as a community.